This is the AM News, the first bulletin on the JoyNews channel. Let's begin. Member of Parliament for Kataman constituency, Joseph Attah, is making a strong case for the split of the constituency. His call comes on the back of what residents refer to as a significant underdevelopment of the constituency, particularly in the areas of road infrastructure and health facilities for the over 400,000 residents. Speaking to JoyNews in a yet-to-be-aired feature, the MP insists that the challenges of the underdevelopment are rather due to the vast nature of the constituency, hence the need for it to be divided.
I fully agree with that, because I've mentioned the population for you. And the problem is that the common fund, we all have the same common fund. So if you have a smaller constituency, small population, they'll take the same common fund. So we really need more constituency in Kataman, so at least 3 or 4. So that's whatever reason we have can also reach out to the people. If it is divided into 3 or 4, it means we are going to get 4 or 3 common fund that we will use to support whatever activity we are doing. But as it is now, it is really difficult. So I'll support that aspect fully, that the constituency needed to be divided. It's not easy at all. It's a difficult terrain and it has to be divided. People say Ashaman has highest population, but I can tell you that we have doubled the population of Ashaman, Kataman. So if other constituencies need to pay school fees for maybe 8 or maybe 5 people, the people who come to me will be more. So that puts serious pressure on our work. And also amenities. Yes, the population also puts pressure on our amenities. The schools, the hospitals, even our roads. Look at the traffic when you are applying these our constituencies. So they need to divide it. It doesn't, whoever you are, it will be difficult for you to manage from Kataman constituency.
But William Asanti, the New Patriotic Party's parliamentary candidate for Kataman constituency, insists that such a division would lead to a waste of scarce national resources. To him, the call by the MP of the area amounts to the lack of capacity to effectively manage the affairs of the constituency productively.
That is a fair call, but, well, it's like, having the capacity to manage a big company. You would want it divided so that it's into smaller blocks. But if you have the one who can manage it as big as it is, then why worry? We're talking about the increase in the number of seats in Parliament. If that is anything to worry about, keep Kataman as it is if you don't mind, and have a better person to represent it, or split it and have 2 people to manage it in parts. But if you have one who can manage the 2 together, why waste resources when one can manage it better?
The NPP parliamentary candidate-elect for the Elele constituency, Kwesi Bonza, says it is time for the people of the constituency to change the Member of Parliament for the area, Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, for non-performance. According to Kwesi Bonza, who is the current district chief executive of the area, he has what it takes to bring massive development to Elele. He secured 523 votes out of a total valid vote of 787, with his contender securing 264 votes. Kwesi Bonzo was speaking about the win and what it means to the party ahead of the 2024 elections.
It's clear that the party is solidly behind me. For one to get 2/3 of the vote cast tells you that in this era of competitive elections, the party has rallied behind me. For this is the 4th time I'm contesting the parliamentary candidate, and we can't afford to lose for the 4th time. So I want to urge everybody to come on board. We are immediately going to start the process of reconciliation, bringing on board all those whose vote I couldn't win. I need their support. I'm going to reach out to them, make sure that they will support in our quest to wrestle the seat from Honorable Akufo-Addo, who has been around for about 16 years and has nothing to show the people of Elele except a slogan of being called an action man. So we believe that having been a DC with all the good works, the records that we have here, and the leadership of our party behind us, and the rank and file behind us, we believe that we'll be able to annex the seat party in 2024. My opponent, he did well. He got quite a number of votes. He has obviously some supporters behind him. So the reconciliation will start right at his backyard, and then we'll move into all other communities where we didn't perform too well. But all in all, we want to bring everybody on board. all professionals, non-professionals, teachers, nurses, identifiable groups, to make sure that we build a winning coalition in this constituency to capture the seat for the new Patriotic Party, because we believe that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is definitely going to build the 8, and once he does that, he needs a majority parliament to be able to execute his programs and policies for the benefit of Ghanaians. So we want to make sure that we are part of that government in the 9th Parliament of the Republic of Ghana.
The Ghana Youth Guide, an NGO, has begun a project to engage stakeholders in the land distribution process to help more women and the marginalized secure land for agriculture. The project is also to help train the youth on issues of climate change and its impact on agriculture. The executive director of GYG disclosed this in an interview with JoyNews at the sidelines of the launch of the project.
The project strengthening Ghanaian youth through climate-smart agriculture and civic organizing is aimed at enhancing the knowledge and resilience of young skilled farmers, especially women, on the impact of climate change in northern Ghana and how to promote smart agricultural practice in Tolong and the Sabaligo district. Speaking in an interview at the launch, the executive director of the Ghana Youth Guide, Asanti Attah, said issues of land allocation have triggered several conflicts in the area.
But this project seeks to address the issues of farmers when it comes to how they can mitigate, when it comes to how they can adapt to best practices when it comes to climate smart. The project seeks to educate women, educate farmers, especially small-scale farmers, educate them on climate-smart agriculture. The project also seeks to engage with major stakeholders when it comes to our development. Because if you talk about agriculture, you can't talk about agriculture without talking about land issues. And as it stands now, land issues has brought a lot of conflict in northern Ghana. And this project, we seek to engage major stakeholders to see a role that they can actively play when it comes to land distribution, when it comes to land border, when it comes to allocating lands to women farmers to go into agriculture. So this is what the project seeks to do.
The administrator of the Ghana Youth Guide, Kiptea Farouk Mohammed, gave a brief background of the project.
We are in the first phase, and then we seek to support 50 Ghanaian youth in 2 districts in the northern region. That is the Sabaligo district and the Tolong district. And we have 50 farmers that are being enrolled on the first phase. And then the project is for the period of 9 months. And so in these 9 months, we'll be taking the farmers training. When it comes to things that are required to farm productivity. And like I said earlier, the overall intervention is to enhance the knowledge and the resilience of farmers.
The Northern Regional Coordinating Director, Mumuni Daman, who represented the minister, commended their role in shaping the lives of the youth in the area.
I take this opportunity to commend Ghana Youth Guide and its development partners for the immense support to improving the lives of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, the Strengthening Ghanaian Youth Through Climate Smart Agriculture and Civic Organizing program seeks to strengthen civil societies in the region and also enhance the knowledge and resilience of young small-scale farmers in Tolong and Sabaligo to climate change impact. Admittedly, this intervention is very timely and appropriate as the world is currently witnessing global rapid changes in our environment and food systems as a result of climate change and other global factors.
In other stories, the West African Gas Pipeline Company Limited, WAPCo, says it has resumed gas delivery at its regulating and metering station at Tema after a system shut down. Several parts of Accra had the power taken out yesterday, with many left to guess what could have been the reason. JoyNews sources within the energy sector revealed it was due to a shortfall in power generation. WAPCo now says they could not transport gas to generation pipeline plants in the Tema enclave due to a shutdown of the system. Head of the energy desk at JoyNews, Samuel Kojo-Brace, has the rest of the story.
According to the West African Gas Pipeline Company Limited, WAPCo, at about 10:30 p.m. Friday night, their Tema facility completely shut down due to a system glitch. They add, however, that they have resumed gas delivery to their customers in Tema at around 6:30 a.m. Saturday morning. WAPCo says it is investigating the root cause of the problem to prevent a recurrence. Quote, WAPCo regret any inconvenience caused, especially to our customers in Tema that rely on the West African Gas Pipeline gas for power generation, unquote. Relatedly, the Chamber of Independent Power Generations Ghana, IPGG, has attributed the current power outages to the Volta River Authority's excessive exportation of electricity to other countries. The CEO of the chamber, Dr. Elele explains that the VRA is focusing on exporting power to neighboring countries and not meeting its domestic obligations. Dr. Elele notes that though the VRA has been tasked to explore the export market to reduce the burden of idle capacity on government, it also must do so within the law, adding that it is a great disservice to Mother Ghana and Ghanaians for VRA to be exporting the most affordable hydro generation to neighboring countries, whilst the Ministry of Energy, PRC and ECG remain unconcerned and force the Ghanaian taxpayer to pay for the expensive thermal generation and also sleep in the dark.
Right, now some students of the Al Farouk College of Education in the Wenchi municipality of the Bono region are calling on the general public to consider scrutinizing manifestos of the various political parties before casting their ballots for them in the 2024 general elections. This, they say, will enable them hold political leaders accountable should they go contrary to the promises made before winning the polls. Anas Sabit has more in this report.
Manifesto include all the ideas, what the president or who the buyer has in mind, what he wants to do for the country.
The manifesto contains whatever that when you come in power, you deliver to your people. Without the manifesto, how are you going to deliver to your people?
These are important because, when you read your manifesto, your subordinates will get to hear you and then understand some of the things when you are being vetted in.
These are students of Al Farouk College of Education here in the Wenchi municipality of the Bono region, aspiring to occupy the various vacant SRC leadership positions of the school, expressing the relevance of manifestos to both local and national elections. These students who are today reading their manifestos for the school's next SRC elections admonish electors to scrutinize the manifestos of the various political parties ahead of the 2024 parliamentary and presidential elections. Latifa Inusa is aspiring to occupy the SRC General Secretary position.
Before one casts the vote to a particular political party, one needs to consider the manifesto aspect. Don't just base on your political affiliation to a particular party. Just read through their manifesto, consider their manifesto. What is beneficial to you? Look at the benefit the country will derive from their manifesto. Then you cast your vote for that particular political party.
Fuad Sadia, on her part, wants electors to hold political leaders accountable for their words should they go contrary to their manifesto promises.
When the president or the person elected, the candidate does not act accordingly, he should be held accountable for his actions. I think this is what will lead Ghana to a better step, because we do not let them account for their actions. They tend to do what they want.
These students promised to sensitize the people in their respective communities on the need to consider party manifestos before stepping out to cast their ballots.
And as a PR, not only in school but outside, we need to educate our parents more on election to encourage them to vote, to select a good leader for the good image of Ghana.
What I'll be able to do is to encourage people to look at the manifesto aspects of the political parties, and also look to it that people don't engage in any violence activities.
Unlike the 2020 general elections, which was characterized by violence in some areas, including the Kataman South constituency, these students are appealing to the general public, particularly the youth in the various Muslim communities, to embrace peace and stay away from political violence.
Islam never preached that we should always be violent in terms of election. Islam never preached anything like that. So please, my police, let's desist from that.
So I will advise the people out there to desist from those activities. They have to abstain from those bad attitudes, especially the youth.
Abdullah Ibrahim is the Human Resource Manager of the Al-Faruq College of Education. He underscored the relevance of the exercise held and admonished the general public to attach the needed seriousness to political party manifestos.
Without a manifesto, I don't think you have any guide. This manifesto, we don't let it go like that. At least what we do is that we keep them. Whatever manifesto you bring as a policy, we keep them, so that as you come into office, we'll be monitoring you whether you are following your manifesto. So eventually, if outside too will be able to be doing like that, then that will be best for them.
Reporting for JoyNews, Anas Sabit, Wenchi.
That's from our election headquarters, and that's how we wrap up for the AM News on the AM Show. Up next is the news review with Benjamin Akaku. Stick with us.